We hope you enjoyed the refreshments and the videos. The videos showed the amazing picture of research conducted in the subtle spiritual dimension and the importance of saints in the society. Today, we have with us Shri Harish Kotecha ji. I request Shri Sandeep Dedge ji to please felicitate Shri Harish Kotecha ji. Shri Harish Kotecha for several years has actively promoted Hinduism. He is the Vice President of the Austin Hindu Temple in Texas. Our next speaker for today is Dr. Mihir Meghani, the co-founder of Hindu American Foundation on the issues facing Hindus in America. Let us get a glimpse of his efforts related to Hinduism. Dr. Mihir Meghani is a co-founder, immediate past president, and board member of the Hindu American Foundation, that is HAF, an advocacy group providing a progressive voice for over 2 million Hindu Americans. The foundation interacts with and educates leaders in public policy, academia, media, and the public at large about Hinduism and global issues concerning Hindus, such as religious liberty, the portrayal of Hinduism, hate speech, and human rights. By promoting the Hindu and American ideals of understanding, tolerance, and pluralism, HAF stands firmly against hate, discrimination, defamation, and terror. Dr. Meghani is also an emergency physician in California. A relative of Mahatma Gandhi, he continued his self-sacrificing traditions from a young age, providing medical care in India, USA, and in Sri Lanka after earthquake, 9/11, and a tsunami respectively with his medical group. A member of the disaster medical assistance team of the US Department of Homeland Security and the former member of the East Bay Regional Parks Advisory Committee, he has received numerous awards for his community service. I now invite Dr. Mihir Meghani to speak on issues facing Hindus in America.
It's really an honor to be here, and usually when I'm asked to speak, I'm the youngest person here. But today I'm glad to say that I've aged after marriage. My hair's gray, and there are people who look much younger than me here, so I don't feel like I did before. But we have many community leaders here who aren't speaking, and I want to recognize everyone here who's been involved in a leadership position, because all of us have played a part in where the Hindu American community is today. I'm going to talk about Hindu issues. And as many of you know, I'm with the Hindu American Foundation, which was introduced. And I'm going to talk about advocacy. What advocacy is, I think, one of the big challenges for everybody here. What does it mean? Because in India, it's not a commonly used word. What is advocacy? So with that, what I'm going to do is show a 2-minute video that just got produced after 6 months. And I just saw it last night. Our national team made it, and it was made just in time for us to use it here.
Politics isn't my thing. I don't care.
I'm well off. I don't care.
My kids are grown, so who cares?
There's so many Indian groups out there. I don't care.
But are my tax dollars benefiting my community?
What about my grandkids?
What if I'm Hindu and not Indian?
I care. I care.
But I care. Advocacy means educating.
If I haven't educated my neighbor,
they may not allow their children to play with my sons because of that swastika on our door.
If I haven't educated my children,
they may not be able to articulate their beliefs when approached by evangelical missionaries on their college campus.
If I haven't educated my boss, he may not be able to understand why I would like to take Diwali off from work.
Advocacy means speaking up.
If I don't speak up when my yoga teacher says that yoga has nothing to do with Hinduism,
my classmates may tell their friends the same thing.
If I don't speak up when my public school textbook says that Hinduism teaches that women are inferior to men,
my daughter may be teased by her classmates at school.
If I don't speak up when my religious studies professor says that Hindus worship monkeys, my friends are going to think I'm weird.
If I don't speak up when Hindus in some parts of the world are suffering human rights violations, my taxes may end up aiding those regimes.
Advocacy means building relationships.
If I don't build a relationship with my local congressman,
Then he may not know he represents Hindu Americans.
If I haven't built a proactive relationship with the local media,
They may never carry a story about our festivals.
If I haven't built relationships with my child's teachers,
I'll have a hard time impacting what all students learn about Hinduism.
I'm an advocate. Be an advocate.
I am an advocate.
Be an advocate.
I'm an advocate.
Be an advocate.
I'm an advocate.
be an advocate.
I'm an advocate. Be an advocate. I have 5 friends.
I have 5 friends. You have 5 friends.
I know you've got 5 friends.
I'm sure everyone has at least 5 friends. Send this to them.
Send this message to at least 5 friends you have on email, Facebook, or Twitter.
Do your part and send this on.
Politics isn't my thing. I don't care.
I'm well off.
Okay. So that is our newly released video. We are the first audience to see this. This is our HF's 3rd video, and we feel like we hope it effectively conveys advocacy. So I want to just jump into what advocacy is in more depth. And what I hope today is that when this presentation is over, you'll have a little better understanding of some of the issues that we feel are important. And hopefully when this whole wonderful summit is over, all of you, if you're not already involved, will decide to get involved in something. Either the Spiritual Science Research Foundation or the Forum for Hindu Awakening or many of the other groups that are going to be introduced here and in some of the efforts that you're involved with. Let's just look at this for a second. Advocacy is the center. What are we trying to change? We're trying to change the media, human rights, legal realm, public policy. And it's about speaking out, making your voice heard. It's about educating people about Hinduism and Hindu issues. And it's about building and leveraging those relationships that you have among your friends, co-workers, and as a citizen of your city, county, state, and country. And if we do that, we can ultimately make a change. I'm going to just briefly talk about a few areas of advocacy. Academia. We can't see the whole slide, but this slide is about academics and education. Starting out, I'll say, first of all, we have 2 people here in the audience who've been very active locally in terms of educating teachers and schools. Mona Vijayakar and Madhulika Singh. So even among you, there are people who are very, very active in this area. What is the work of advocacy in academics? It's making sure that the textbooks across the country teach Hinduism accurately, positively, and using the same standards as other religions. For those of you who've come to HF's presentation, you know about this in more detail, but let me give you one example of where the textbooks in California are not accurate and are not positive and do not use equal standards in their coverage of Hinduism. A few years back, one of the textbooks up for adoption in California said, Hinduism considers women inferior. The same textbook said that Islam raised the status of women. Now, that's not accurate. They're not using equal standards for different religions because they did not talk about the role of women in Christianity and Christianity and Judaism, and it was not very positive. So, an area where there's a major problem is academics. How Hinduism is portrayed. And when you look at the community and you see people, such as Nikki Haley in South Carolina, or Governor Jindal in Louisiana, why they've converted out of Hinduism, and why many others in the community have either changed their religion to something other than Hinduism, or they don't care about Hinduism, one place to look at is academia. How do the textbooks that you pay your tax dollars for, the cities you live in, reflect Hinduism? At the university level as well, there are professors who not only denigrate Hinduism, but teach the wrong Hinduism, a Hinduism that we don't support. Professor Paul Courtwright at Emory University portrayed Ganesh as a sex symbol, and Professor Wendy Danagar looks at Hinduism from a very sexual and Freudian analysis. Another major area where we need to advocate and represent ourselves is public policy and government. Why is this important? Well, you're all tax-paying citizens. Hindus are the richest, most educated minority in this country. So, because of our education, because of the taxes we pay, because of the businesses we own, because of the amount of money we spend, we should have influence with people in government, and they should be doing what we ask them to. That's what a democracy is all about. But when you go to Capitol Hill in Washington, and a congressman asks you, knowing that you're Hindu, what the difference is between Hinduism and Islam, and as a Hindu, are you Shia or Sunni? We need to step back and ask ourselves, what are we doing about it? How are we going to change that? The congressman himself or herself, of course, is ignorant, but we have a role, we have a right, we have a duty, and we have the ability as educated and well-off Hindus to make a change. So these are the kind of issues we all need to work on. Diwali, how many of you have made sure that the person you voted for in your local city council knows what Diwali is? A simple thing, a very, very simple thing that any of you can do. Doesn't require money, doesn't require votes. Make sure that your congressman or senator or your state rep or state senator, your mayor, your city council member understands Diwali. We have Professor Rameshwar Singh here, for example. He's been interacting with government officials